name's Ashley.
I'm Chad.
I'm Megan. Our fourth panelist, our fourth panelist may not be here, may not be coming because they had a photo shoot they couldn't get around. Scheduling sucks, by the way.
Can you turn it up the mics? It's on the soundboard.
Do we?
Just shout. Woo! Is that good? Or is...
Oh, here we go.
Okay, wait. They're doing it first? Okay. Okay.
Is it better?
Is that better?
Hello? Better?
Awesome.
Okay.
So let's start this off. Was anime saved?
Yeah.
Pulled the trigger. Okay. So, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it was probably, like, for both seasons that it aired, like, even if it's just, 24 episodes or whatever, there was the break in between. It was probably the only show I really watched or paid attention to. I think it really took the attention away from everything else. I think it definitely saved it for me, but I don't know.
I admit I dropped it partway through, and then I picked it up again when they got into the battle arc around episode 12. And then after that, I was just hooked until the very end because it's awesome.
Yeah, probably around the same time too, just because I'm a student too, so it fell around midterms, exams, and papers and stuff. So, but I picked it up like, after, and I just like marathon the hell out of it, and I'm glad I did, so, yep. Maybe we can just maybe do some questions or something to start off, or?
Yeah, or do we want to do, like, maybe poll people on favorite character?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that.
We can do based on like cheering. So
Yeah.
we can name a character, and if you like it, cheer very loud, and do something like that.
We won't cheer. We'll hold our hands up because we have mics. But I guess,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we start off with the main characters, Ryoko. Okay. There's not much.
I enjoy having a hot-headed female character for once.
Yay. What about Mako?
Alright. I was worried I was like the only person who loved her, and it's like everyone else is like, oh, she's so annoying.
But then Gamma Mako happened, and then my life has changed forever. Okay, what about Satsuki? You'll never have her step on you and call you a disgusting pig. Okay.
Oh, Broketsu.
Yay, inanimate objects.
I enjoy romances between clothing and people.
Okay.
Gamagori. I think for me, definitely my favorite. Well, I guess like close second maybe to this next person. What about Nono?
No.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
She has her own Reddit page, I guess, or like her own subreddit dedicated to her.
I highly recommend the YouTube video too, When I'm Nani Sore. For those who've seen it, or those who haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Good music, good song, by the way. What about Sanagama? Yay, monkeys. Let's see. Inamuda, how about the... Yes, okay.
One of my favorites, Lori. I really like Lori.
Who?
Lori.
Iori?
Lori. I say everything wrong.
No. Let's see. Nui. I didn't see many Nui cosplayers, but those I've seen, awesome wigs. I don't know if any of them in the audience right now, but congrats to you for those. Let's see. Ragyo. Congratulations if the Ragyo here from the Masquerade was here. She did an awesome job for those who've seen. I highly recommend seeing her. Light up hair is always awesome. The butler. We did know. Let's see. What about Guts?
Just on the subject of Guts, did you guys, does anybody here know who actually voiced Guts? It was, I don't know if you, during the credits, while the entire show was airing, I guess they just listed a question mark next to Guts' like voice actor, so they left it a mystery, and it was actually revealed like 2 days after the finale aired via like tweet. The voice actor tweeted. It was Sumugu, so the red-haired mohawk, big burly guy, who is also the voice of Kamina from Gurren Lagann. So just it'll ruin your image now when you think of him. You're gonna think of this little dog. But
speaking of Sumugu, okay, so we have love for Sumugu. And last but not least,
Glowing pink nipples.
Yes.
Okay, can't say the name, but I can say that.
Yes, okay. So, yeah, how about we get into, how about general reactions to it? Was it at first like a love-hate relationship? Did you love it off the bat? Was there some things you didn't like about it? Could have been improved? What are your general thoughts about it? Any like particular episodes you felt were terrible or really good?
I guess.
Sorry, I can't see, so.
Yeah, gray shirt, but hand up first.
I think that was the moment that I saw Belgori in the piece flying down the window, I was like, this show is going quick.
Yeah, Gamagori is.
Or just in the first episode when he enters into like the homeroom and he's like the size of the room itself. From that point, I just love how his like size is constantly changing throughout the show. Like there are times where he's like the size of a room and then he's like kind of normal, but then he'll be like the size of 2 trucks like on top of each other or something.
He only has one side, bigger than you.
Basically.
Anybody else? Okay, I think there were some hands up there, I can't really see.
As much as I like the anime, I think that sometimes in the area that we get to watch, like they just suddenly destroy the entire thing and just make it after the school conference. I feel like could use maybe another episode. Like I think it was just a long period before we
Yeah, nudist speech is one of those things that you kind of start to wonder, why were they even there?
Yeah, the pacing in that was very weird. Like it was basically destroyed in all of like 20 seconds or something. And up until then, I had thought that maybe they would be like some sort of like formidable opponent or something to like Satsuki's plans. And it's just no, they're gone in 20 seconds. So
Probably not the most well thought out arc.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Two things caught my attention. One was the animation, which, well, due to the director and most of the people, similar to Gurren and Total Gurren 1. And 2, my God, that soundtrack kicked ass.
Yeah! It was fantastic. You will never lose your way with that. Never, ever again. It was on the level of epicness as the Penny and Stocking one. It's just absolutely, like, you could just zone out to it for all day long. Yeah, you definitely see for animation-wise, for those who don't know, probably a lot of people you know, it's Trigger. Trigger, the director, did work with Gurren Lagann, but then he branched off. They're actually, you can see it in some of the other works too. I've seen a tiny bit of it in Little Witch Academia, which he did. But also, for those who don't know, they also contributed to Inferno Cop, for those who've seen that. You kind of see just a tiny bit of that too, and it's that little extra touch that I like. Anybody else? Favorite likes or dislikes? You can pick some hands.
I have this theory that they just wanted to see cosplayers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think you get a lot of that just from the director himself, because he also worked on Fanny and Stocking when he was still at Gynax. So you get a lot of like that crude humor sort of overflap, like it overflows into this as well, combined with like the scale and the fights from Gurren Lagann, basically.
Honestly, the thing that got me really into it was the teacher and just the clothes just randomly falling off
Yeah.
them. Like that's what sold me. It was, you know, pink nipples and clothing just going.
The sheer amount of ridiculousness with it, I'm like, wow, I've never seen pink glowing nipples before. Jeez. And like, because they hardly animate, they probably hardly put nipples really on any like man in anime, like give or take maybe like a few yaois and like some special shows. But like, I'm just attracted like, oh I know, Tiger and Bunny, actually, Oyashi nipples. But, yeah, Oyashi nipples. But yeah, like the attention to detail and the afraid, not afraid, they're just pushing the limits to men, like, okay, how much underboob can we get? Can we beat out Bleach? Can we bleed out Bleach with Halibel? Yes, we can, and they did. Okay. Anybody else? Yay. Space, the final frontier.
Defeats the mother, comes crashing down from space, and then manages to get saved by pretty much Sasuke and the whole student body president. And then it's just a whole nudist.
Yeah. It literally is nudist beach. Did you guys know that during that final scene when like Satsuki runs to catch Ryuko, her line where she shouts her name was actually like totally improvised. It wasn't in the script, but the voice actress, she was just like, I just felt like naturally I should shout her name. And I don't know, I think you get the first one of the few touching moments between her and Ryuko as a result. But yeah, no, I agree.
So what did you guys think of the Ryuko and Satsuki relationship and that development? I found that it was actually quite perfect. The love and hate, well, hate at first, like the deep-seated hatred, but then as they find out they're related, it's rather touching the way they interact around the end, especially the end where they see each other, like they're in their normal clothes. It's kind of scary to see Satsuki in normal clothes. I'm like, you're so used to seeing her in that skin tight, like, you know, military uniform, so badass, and then she's just all casual. But the relationships between certain characters in the show, I see that, but even Mako and Gamaguri, that relationship too, I found really touching. More like a brother-sister thing. A lot of people are like shipping out of it, like really
I ship it.
I think of like brother, like kindly brother helping his little sister kind of thing. I can never imagine like, it's probably Rule 34 out there somewhere I haven't looked yet. But certain relationships in the show, what do you guys feel? Like any particular favorites one? Ryuko, Satsuki, Gamaguri, Mako? What do you think?
Well, I think even in the beginning, like you said, it was hatred, but I think that Sasuke and Ryuko had kind of a mutual respect for each other. Even in the beginning, like Sasuke kind of made sure that everyone sort of left her alone sometimes. I don't know, I think it was a natural progression of the relationship.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that there was something more going on there, the way that she didn't outright attack her at first.
I can't see. Right there, I think? Sorry, I'm half blind right now. Yeah.
I think how they showed the backstories for all the generals and how Satsuki recruited them was really well done.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I love
that-
that.
It
Yeah.
showed how she basically had a rivalry with each of them and won them all over. And with the Jedi, how she basically did them sending him to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
How they are all each legitimately like very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, I'd have to say, was Nonon's, just because it was that sisterly kind of bond. It's where she builds the sandcastle. It's like, why build a sandcastle when you can, like, I kind of forget how the line goes. He's like, why don't you just stand on top and look down on everybody and like, I want that, I want her as a sister. Oh God. Yeah. Anybody? Do you have anything about to say about that?
Can we, yeah, you.
was
Just description. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
That was an
Yeah.
awkward scene.
yeah, the first time that happened, it was, I think, I guess a lot of that is probably just shock value. It's meant to sort of show you just how, like, messed up Ragyo is. And maybe more so to get you to dislike her as a villain, because she's eventually, like, she replaces, like, Satsuki in sort of that element. Do you mean like her betraying the?
The sister.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like what happened with, I guess like one thing that people brought up a lot that when I was reading is between like Ryuko and Satsuki, you have a similar relationship kind of, and even like similar kind of design to if Ryuko is like Simon or Shimon from Gurren Lagann, then Satsuki is almost kind of like Roshu. In that similar kind of like political role, very pragmatic, rules with like an iron fist kind of thing. Even the design, like the face design, but yeah, like I think a lot of people generally sort of anticipated like around the halfway point something is going to happen. I think for a lot of people they sort of predicted like some kind of time skip. But we predicted some kind of time skip or something. I remember one of the episodes, it was the one where they started with the new opening. They teased over the Twitter, they said we literally can't show like a preview from the next episode because any shot we show could be a spoiler. Yeah. Do we want to, I guess, with the
Oh,
glasses?
sorry, just to interrupt you, your panelists just came in, so if you could introduce themselves. I don't think it works here.
Hello, hi. My name's Sean. Sorry for getting here. I was double booked with another event. Also, panelists. So, I'll let you continue on where you are, and I'll just pick in as we're going on.
Who's your favorite character?
Sorry?
Who's your favorite character from the show?
Satsuki.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I guess we'll ask the classes. Yeah, you do have that bit where she sort of dips into, she gets forced to put on Junketsu or whatever, and it's kind of weird because you almost see like her and Satsuki kind of like reverse roles. Like I'm watching it, and I'm like, is Satsuki the protagonist now? Like what's happening here? Because you're almost rooting for her to just sort of like knock Ryuko back into, like, knock some sense into her. I think there were some ideas people were saying. I think they made that entire arc just so that they could put Satsuki in Senketsu to make more figures, or I don't know, something like that. But I guess blue shirt because you've had your.
I guess, like, relating to all that, the relationship between I just want to mention earlier about how they had mutual respect for each other, but I think it jumps towards that because as you get into the second arc, it becomes like more what's the word? Obvious that Sasuke is always a plan. But I think from the very beginning, Sasuke is kind of like treating people, and like
Yeah.
It really felt that way.
Yeah, she says that at one point. Yeah.
it's one of like really big things why like Ryuko got so much character development. Not just because of like Ryuko wanting revenge on Sasuke, but also because of pushing her to like do better and like get stronger. So
Yeah, I think she says that at one point. She says like all of the trials and like tribulations that you encountered, like going through each club president, everything was basically just to test you and to make you stronger.
One can also relate that to the Elite Four. If you remember all the flashbacks to how Sasuke encountered all of them, she challenged all of them to be better, essentially.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
kind of treating them the same way. I was wondering, like, how obvious was it that they were sisters? Like, figure that out pretty early
did
on?
anybody for me, I guess it was kind of like when you see like the similar hair color and even the similar, like the fact that they're polar opposites, I think you often get maybe like a hothead kind of sibling and like the more like the colder sibling in a lot of anime, like Full Metal Alchemist. So I think for me it was just kind of like you at first I predicted it and I was like, no, they're not siblings, and then it's, oh, they are siblings. So I don't know. Did anybody else have, I guess?
I mean, to like baby drop down, you're like, oh, yeah.
Okay, this kind of ties into everything we just talked about. But the only thing that really bothers me about the show is that quoting Jesus died for our sins. And everybody glosses over it. The show glossed over it. Communicating everybody just kind of, nobody brings it up. Nobody cares. He said his name. I care.
A round of applause for the person.
The only thing he got was at the end when he got all sad and he looked at his friend. And I thought that was, and it's almost like they killed him just to have somebody die. Yeah.
Stepping stones,
Yeah.
stepping stones.
I think someone mentioned, like, there is an OVA being planned for the Blu-ray, which releases in September. So yeah, I think like when I finished the show, I said, wow, that was very, like, there was a lot of action. I really enjoyed action-wise, but I felt like closure, I think I could have used a bit more closure just on the characters. So I'm hoping that the 25th episode or
I'm
the
not
OVA.
sure how much more stuff they could have fit into that last episode.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem that a lot of like anime run into for me is you only have like 20 minutes maybe to wrap up such a big show. So I've heard that the OVA apparently covers like their high school graduation. I'm hoping that's the case because
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
I think you could get a lot out of that.
One of my favorite things about the show is all the references and symbolism it has, like Ryo and Sasuke are the right away Kagoni, Yuketsu's the wedding dress.
Yeah, the four devas being like they have puns in their names to which animals they reference, and the fact that they represent things like there's like do no evil, which is Gamagori, see no evil, which is I can never pronounce his name, but Monkey Boy, because he sews his eyes shut. Nonon or Nan, Nonan is Hear No Evil because she's music band leader, and Speak No Evil is Inamuda because he always has the mouthpiece covering up or whatever. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think it's there.
I think there's a hand up way over there. Yep.
What I like about Gannon though is, even though there's not that much closure, it's still a good wrap up because it's finished, it's done. They can't make a more season, which kind of might bring it down a little bit. It's done, it's kind of, if all the threads are gone, of course the dog is gone as well. But it was a good sentimental ending. The worked out their hard, so they kind of
But
trying to clean it up a little bit.
the alien clothes are still out there. There could be a second season.
Yeah, I'm hesitant about that myself. I mean, I like that it sort of keeps the world going. I like that it establishes that. I'm hesitant about them personally continuing the story on that. I mean, like, that is an opening,
So
but
maybe same world, different characters.
that could work too, personally.
Yeah.
Their story could have been ended, their chapter is done, I think.
I know the director typically doesn't continue things past a second season, or past a first season. I know, like with Penny and Stocking, whoever has seen that knows the
It will never
infamous
happen.
ending to that promised a second season, and then it never happened, or it has yet to happen. So I'm not too worried about a second season.
Over, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. There's doesn't matter. I think.
I've heard this crazy conspiracy theory about Nui, and Nui became or like took over Mako's body because in the credits, the way the color pattern of Mako's dress is the same as Nui's dress but in reverse.
Yeah.
Like some say like it's really weird how she suddenly just jumped out and kissed Haruko. And it's like,
Yeah, I read that theory online too. I know what you're talking about.
something could be going on there.
I feel like they're pulling at straws, but it might be
Taken a
plausible.
little far. And also, I really liked the different versions of Jujutsu. Just the way they changed it up. Like, where when Haruko was like way more full body and everything.
Yeah.
Because June Cancer had more control. That's one.
Was anybody disappointed that we didn't get to hear like? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Guy right back.
What was with and what happened with Ray Holbrook? Like, was she the embodiment of the life fiber and then just got knocked out of the rope again and just never was seen again?
Hopefully we might see her in the OVA, but yeah, I don't know what happened to her. You guys, any theories?
No, nothing off the top of my head. Was there another question over behind the gentleman there, or is it answered?
Back row again?
Here?
I guess.
Oh, am I speaking? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. What I found weird personally was that Gambling size was so inconsistent. I mean, one minute it was like he was like maybe 2 feet taller than like Satsuki, and the next minute he was giant enough that he could like that moment when they were racing each other off, and he was like the size of a pedestal. I mean, like that giant thing that was raised above the ground.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was just for comical effect, but yeah, no, it was definitely all over the place, especially the size of his hands. Like at some points, his like hands were bigger than his head. It was kind of ridiculous.
I attribute that somewhat just to the art style that they use, and somebody just has to go with it. I know they did release the official heights of each character, which as this picture on it would actually show their official height. And I just think stick with that, and the rest is just the art of how it's drawn, just for effect, I think.
Yeah. We had pink heads. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, I think that's a requirement. If you're going to cosplay her, you have to have
Perfect
the eyebrows.
rectangles are necessary. I think there was a question in back over to someone over here. Yeah.
Okay, one thing just to point out. The biggest thing in the universe is not Super Tension top over an audience. It is Yamagori and his side.
Yeah.
They're going to release another Gurren Lagann movie where he fights Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Yeah. Scourge Regalia versus like, oh god, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Okay, let's have the far side over there, then we'll take the ones over here afterwards. The very last row, yeah.
Personally, the biggest thing in the entire series that's satisfying is that all the characters' arcs end up getting a satisfying conclusion. Most of all, romantic. Because you think about it from the beginning, absolute instinct, desperate for survival, over the course, crying, making friends, and making those relationships at the very end, sacrificing himself for the sake of his friends, as opposed to the beginning, which was all about his own survival. Just that complete arc, and that's why it's satisfying.
Yeah. Oh, I think one of the things the show did like the best is the character development. Like with everything going on and how fast-paced everything is, for them to have gotten all the characters, have an arc, have, you know, a storyline, and to make us care for all of them, even the people we start off thinking are bad guys, by the end we love the Elite Four. I mean, I like them better than the main characters.
True. We said we'd do the ones over here first. So front row, then.
I just want to know what you guys think about Satsuki cutting her hair at the end. Was it a good thing, a bad thing, something to sit on?
It made her very scary.
It did remind me, I'm sorry.
No, you start.
Yeah, bringing it to Disney, it reminded me of Mulan actually when she cuts her hair, her gorgeous long flowing locks. But I don't know, it just really seemed like it was weird but interesting at the same time. Like it didn't really like die because of it, like no. But no, it was a nice change. It shows a change in her character too, I guess.
Yeah, I think going with that, I think it's just like her curse has been lifted, so I guess it's like a rebirth for her. So she's starting anew. So going with that. Next person was with the ears and the blue hair.
For like that, the previous thing about Yamagori's size difference changing, it's sort of
that when you perceive him as 10 to 100 times bigger than what he should be. So literally, his ego is so massive it's bigger than a set of tiles.
So it's actually just a representation of his ego going on. Whenever you see him big, it's him trying to out-aggro whoever else is there.
Yeah. Well, also he can make it giant. He can make his own face.
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
He's also a gunman in another lifetime. Third person was, sorry, in behind. Yeah, you, man. Yeah, sorry.
I think, speaking of, I think the best is supposed to not be having wrong and having all seen. That was my opinion.
And then you find out he's 20.
Yeah. My 2 cents on Gamma Ray was awesome. Like, he's huge, he can like do all this stuff. But his regalia surprised me the most. That was the most, that like threw me for like 2 loops and like a whole Scourge regalia. I'm just like,
that made me re-question my
Mako. Once you think about
yeah.
it, it makes sense. He's all about discipline.
Reminds me of Garter Belt from Penny Stock, bringing it back, like how he's into bondage and like all that stuff like that. And just like,
Yeah,
more connections.
the whole bondage thing definitely, I think, was a throw to Penny and Stocking, because you had characters like Corset in that, the villain, who would also wear like just very uncomfortable pieces of clothing for the sake of, I guess, punishing himself. I don't know, but
he's really a cosplayer.
Yeah. It was definitely, I think, a funny throwback to that, or that's what it made me think of. Oh, I was gonna ask. I said, was anybody disappointed that we didn't get to hear like Junketsu talk at any point?
Yeah.
Because I pictured. You hear him like when he finally gets torn apart. You hear him like scream and groan a little. But I thought it would have been funny that he's portrayed as such an evil thing that maybe his voice didn't represent that.
Going with sorry, just to go with that, like that scene after he was torn apart, you saw his scraps trying to crawl away before he was impaled and captured. I actually thought maybe they were going to develop him a little more, but that was the first, probably the only time you actually see him actively moving on his own when his scraps are trying to get away, which confirmed that there is sentient rather than just instinct. Because when Sass put the blood on him, it's acting out instinct. Him actually trying to escape is the first sign of his sentience. So I was actually hoping they'll do more with that, but well. Okay, I'm waiting a while.
I've heard the comparison that Kill la Kill is an anime about girls going through puberty, and then Gurren Lagann is guys going through puberty. What's your opinion on that?
Expansion of drills, puberty. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see, especially the whole mention of the blood. There's a lot of emphasis on blood. Although it is kind of, I know I'm over 20. This shouldn't really affect me anymore. But it was kind of, like kind of when I think about it. But afterwards, I'm like, oh well, okay, fine. I guess you could put it that way, but with the blood. But I don't think space battles.
I kind of see it more like just a typical hero's journey.
Yeah, I just sort of saw it as, I think I see both as a coming of age kind of story. I think that, I guess one thing I like about Gurren Lagann is that you have the time skip, so it covers a lot more ground. I think that was one thing that I was almost anticipating in Kill la Kill, but it never happened. Yeah, I think they're definitely both like coming of age stories, just with like different like gender.
Since we're on the topic of Gamma, I'm surprised no one brought this up, but in the last episode when he had the death scare, and like I know like in the beginning Gamma is coming, but then he becomes like a lot of people's favorite character. So like, did you feel that was a necessary thing?
I feel like it was obvious that it wasn't the end.
Yeah, I guess like it's funny because he uses the exact same way to escape death that he did with Satsuki in his callback, where he's wearing like the iron armor or whatever underneath, and he claims like, oh, my relatives work at like an ironworks or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of unnecessary. They could just play it off and he was severely injured and play that off rather than he's dying or something like that.
It was needed to get Mako going crazy. Like that,
Oh, definitely.
that
Yeah,
was
that's
super
understandable.
nice.
Yeah, understandable. But okay, we said Lady Pink is next.
Mako Gamagori.
Yeah, it's
I have to
Mako
say that too.
Gamagori for me because, and I don't normally like look too much into pairings, but I remember at one point somebody suggested that, and they were like, yeah, these two are gonna end up together, and then you're watching each episode, and it's just like gradually getting closer to that. Like it's the part where like Mako's being like taken up by like a covers thing, and like Gamagori's like trying to save her or whatever, and then he's promising, the brother that. I thought their relationship was definitely funny.
As soon as they had the debate about the pajamas, I knew.
Yeah.
Also, too, I saw that relationship with Gamagori, and when Mako had Ryoko's scissor sword, and Mako's like, give up the blade. She's like, no, pouty face, and they just stared at each other like, but like Gamagori's like, he can't hit her, like she's so tiny. And it's just staring, just glaring like. Yeah, no, that you can see that there too.
Well, I will also agree the Mako Gamagori is a definite relationship pairing that I like, but not in terms of relationship, but just they're good together because that's the way they react to each other. It would be Inamuta and Nono.
Yes.
The way that they grind each other's gears, I just constantly love that.
Two very sarcastic characters. I also kind of laughed at the one episode where Sumugu tried to hit on Satsuki and she just like turned him down flat.
Rejected.
It's kind of funny.
You're trying to be relevant.
This gentleman over here. No, I appreciated that. I think it wasn't necessary. You guys?
Yeah, I thought that was. I guess it's kind of funny with a show that is called Kill la Kill that you saw very few like main deaths in general. Like a lot of it was just so comical that like no one would really die, but they would always like tout like certain like, oh, this person could die, or I mean you had some deaths, but it's actually really funny. Did you guys happen to know what the name of the show is in China? I don't know if it's because they want to avoid using kill in the name, but in China it's apparently, it's translated as like the girl who cuts cloth, or the girl who cuts by dual wielding. So, I don't know, just fun trivia.
I know the name Kill la Kill actually has a couple of meanings behind it.
It's a pun in itself, yeah.
I don't exactly know the puns, but it just reminded me of like Kill Bill. Someone said, like, someone made a joke with that, they kill a bill or something like that, and just like, that's kind of a bit close.
I know that they're saying that, someone's saying that from remember, there's kiru means to cut, that's the reference to scissor blade, and there's another one where it means to wear. So you can be like, yeah, so it could either be saying cutting to wear, or depending how you reword it, could be another word you're saying is could be the title basically means dress to kill. That's basically what we're trying to get to.
I guess like slightly on topic, has anybody seen the hilarious, there's a YouTube video where they take it's basically like a redone trailer for Kill la Kill, but they do it as if 4Kids Entertainment.
Unfortunately,
Bully La Bully, or whatever it's called. I just wanted to make sure people had seen that.
They went there, they did that. I wanted to personally ask, so since like Trigger is a fairly new animation company, they've done like Inferno Cop, Little Witch Academia, and Kill la Kill. What do you guys expect from them in the future? What would you like to see from like future projects, like if they could? Anybody have an opinion on that? I think that he has his hand up first.
Well, they're actually currently working on Little Witch Academia 2.
Oh yeah, the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
They're also attached to an But it's the kind of thing that I think they do really well.
So it's something we should look forward to.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to look out for that. Anybody else?
Just on the subject of Mini Slayers, the subtitle is Pistol Fist Assassin Suicide.
Oh, I'm watching that.
Given the team's previous track record, not just good in logging, but there's that one as well, so one previous done Access Productions, Die Busters, I really wanted to try to watch a lot of them, they do them really well.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, but maybe just to make it a little bit different and unique from Gurren Lagann, maybe more of a mecha, but more focused in space, maybe. More
Does the
pure
world
sci-fi.
really need more giant robots?
Yes, we do.
I think regardless, like the director Imashi, I think regardless of what he works on next, I think he has a very like distinct style and aesthetic. So I think you're going to get that out of him, whatever his next project is, because I think that's going to be what a lot of people look to trigger for from now on. I think you'll also probably get a lot of trolling from him because he's notorious for that. I don't know. I guess like, does anybody know? I just wanted to pose this real quick. Did anybody know about the whole like Mako death scare thing in episode 7? If you when she's punching in things on her calculator or whatever, you can see like in the reflection of her glasses or whatever, it says like dies in 21, and that happens to be when around that time you have like several potential death scares for her like per episode, but I think the creator likes to mess with people and sort of get in their heads like that.
Oh, way in the back.
Earlier you mentioned the whole Mako Yamadori pairing. How did you feel when it ended up being Mako Ryoko in the end?
We don't know that that's true. It could still happen.
Dun, dun.
I thought it was cute, but I don't know.
I know there's not enough information to say anything more than just a strong friendship between the three of them now. I don't like to read too much into things.
Just adding, I just wanted to make a quick point. One thing that's hilarious is I think it's in one of the like episodes from the first arc, there's a part where Ryuko is talking about how like she and Senketsu are one now, and you can see Mako in the background, and she just has like the reddest face of like jealousy at that point. I remember somebody like screen capped that, and they were like, "This is going to be a problem, isn't it?" So I don't know. That's a funny moment as well.
You sure? Fair? Yeah. Yeah, sure.
T-shirt, great.
Did anyone like Takarada, the Dodge King? Did no one ever?
I'm sorry. I forgot the other monkey. My bad.
He redeemed himself to me, yeah.
I kind of felt bad for him around when, Sanagayama, monkey versus monkey. No one should have a sword stuck up there. I really he was all right. I only really felt bad for him when he got his ass beat, but other than that, he's just kind of for me.
I think it would have been funny to see more of him, but at the same time, I think there's only so much that you can do with a character like that. So he was definitely a very funny like side villain for a few episodes.
Were there any minor characters that you guys would like to see more of, like the other club captains?
Like Hakodake, yeah. The boxer, no.
They just pretty much run the course.
I think because they covered up.
Just following up on the track with Takarada. I do know that apparently he grew up on A more than Manifestos, and Trigger found out about that, and they were all like, he was just supposed to be a one-time thing. Why do we know his mom so much? And that's why when they threw him back in and he's over the boat, he specifically gave it a
that specifically was shutting up the American fans.
Oh,
That's
wow.
interesting. Never
Or she had doing something relevant.
Because yeah, the people who I knew who liked him were all American fans. So yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the whole Nature Valley thing.
Well, he is all about money, so.
I wanted to see something really cool with the butler, like or Helsing, where the butler was the vampire slayer. I wanted to have like, you know, maybe like a sacrifice moment. Like the tea was awesome, but I wanted to play a little more of an important role. Maybe like a first one.
Rather than just making tea.
Yeah.
I bet it was really good tea though.
I want that tea. We have about 5 minutes left. We can just open up to some more questions, crack theories, crack pairings, funny moments. It's just basic stuff like that. We'll try and get as many people as possible, so if you keep the questions short. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
definitely a crack ship.
Yeah. Did anybody else just find Mako's family to be like one of the funniest parts of the show as well?
Yeah, I really liked that the one episode when they joined, where she gets the 1 star and all her uniform, and they upgrade and they upgrade and they upgrade, and it was a good lesson. Like money wasn't everything. You know, they never saw each other, but you know, when they were living in the slums, eating her mom's delicious croquettes. You know, everything was good. Love,
and everything else.
Too, on the subject of scale, the dad's head is like constantly changing size, or it's just like the size of an entire person. So it's kind of fun.
My entire time watching from the beginning, I knew there was more to her. I knew with Satsuki that the way they're playing her out, she's not the true villain. And as per sometimes anime standards, when the true villain emerges, the initial problem will be your help. So I had a feeling that would be.
Yeah, I knew that they were going to fight each other, but like she's just a no-nonsense girl. She just goes straight for the kill, and I didn't see that going, and I was really happy with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just one could say that if Rago has her own theme song, then she's on the same level as Darth Vader.
Actually, for soundtrack, I'd have to. Very interesting soundtrack. What were some of your favorite? Oh, sorry, 2 minutes. Actually, let's get some more questions answered. Till you died? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see, with the high collar and the,
Well, one could say that Junketsu was complete in the beginning, and since Senketsu was a hack project put together as a counterance that it's on in Ryuko's final form, he gained a second eye. Very back in the beige, I believe, shirt, the lady, you just put your hand down, yeah.
So yeah, I guess, yeah,
Okay,
we got
2
one
more
more
minutes.
minute.
They'll come up with the sign, but, okay. Let's see if we can get as many in. There were a few others over here. I'm sorry, I can't really see.
Gentleman with the scissor blade. Anthem. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of bad anime fans out there.
Gendo and Ragyo.
Yeah, Gendo and Ragyo. yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Evil. Right here.
Everything about the ending is everyone contributes to that final fight. Like no one's left out. Even like all the 2-star captains, the mother serves the tea, everyone's there to help.
Marco's mom's cooking.
All encompassing. So it's 55 now, I guess.
1 more minute. It says 1:54.
Okay.
Okay, so we can take one more question.
Hey, back here.
Okay, so there's the soundtrack, probably one of my favorite tracks is like it's almost like one of the and the other the game of Mambo thing. There's in one of the last episodes, you can see Gambori eating croquettes. There's shaped like Mambo's head. And he's like looking at her and blushing, so
That was extremely cute. I see more croquettes out. I'm kind of hungry.
Wrap this up?
Yeah, okay, last question. Oh yeah, so we can get the nudist beach and everybody up here?
Yeah, if you're, yeah.
We can do something quick before we have to move on to if there's another event in here, so.
Oh, we just got the sign, we just got the signal.
Okay, so, well, I think we could do something outside, but we can't stay in here because the Attack on Titan has to come in here.
Yeah, okay, thank you all for coming.
Thank you for
Okay,
coming.
we have to sign.